Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we have a trade, and really, it's one that I am very, very happy about as a Laker fan. What the Lakers have done is in regards to the Rajon Rondo trade, they've added the New York Knicks to the equation in order to get Denzel Valentine's off of our books without having to waive him or stretch him or doing anything weird. We can get some um, something out of the situation. So that's what they've done. They've called up the Knicks and say, "Hey, Knicks, you want to kind of help us facilitate this deal so we can, clear up this cap space?" And they're like, "Sure." They made themselves $1 million, and that's pretty much what it really boils down to. So the particulars of the deal goes like this: the New York Knicks will be acquiring Denzel Valentine, $1.1 million in cash, and two draft rights players, which means two guys probably overseas who are not expected to play in the NBA. Maybe not anytime soon, maybe not ever. But the point is, they get those guys, and what that does is creates, space for them a little bit. And they'll probably just either waive Denzel Valentine or give him a 10-day and see if they want to keep him. Now, the thing that wasn't really clear for me is what happens to the player Louis Labiari, who's going to be involved in this deal. I'm not really sure where he goes. That part was not clear in anything that I read, but I'd assume he's headed to the Knicks, and the Knicks would then probably release him or again give him a 2-day, 10-day, and see if they want to keep him or whatever. But I'm not sure. He might be headed to the Lakers as well, where the Lakers would do the same thing. Well, I was hopeful he was a center with some upside who can come in here and kind of help us with some minutes, but I'm not familiar with the player and didn't look him up. So just look at that situation as unknown at this time. But all in all, the point is the Lakers wanted to clear up cap space, and that's what they were able to do. $4 million were cleared up in making this move. So you got to appreciate that. And of course, we get that free roster spot to sign Stanley Johnson. Now, I don't know that the Lakers are going to give him the $4 million. I don't think that's probably the way to go right now, given the fact that we're trying to clear up cap space. We definitely appreciate Stanley, but $4 million is a bit more than what we were giving a guy that we just offered a 10-day. So I'd expect them to probably sign him for the rest of the season for something minimal, and then proceed to try to continue to clear up more space, because that's really all I want to see the Lakers do. I understand that it's going to take hell and high water to move Russell Westbrook's contract, and what we're going to need is as much cap space created as possible to facilitate that deal, because we're going to have to sweeten that pot for other teams, and that's going to require us taking back a salary dump, a player, or something of that nature, because we don't have picks that are valuable. We have second rounders, and I think we have like one first rounder that we can offer from like 2020, 2027 or something like that. So that's in the mix. We can give that asset up if we like to, but again, do you really want to give that asset up when you consider we don't have any picks until then? We're essentially saying we wouldn't have any picks until 2028. That is not the way to go. Obviously, there are a million ways you can acquire picks, and we probably would, but that's just a very risky thing, very risky and unnecessary thing. As to which your franchise is going to be relying solely on people wanting to play for the Lakers in order to make you good, because you wouldn't be able to really organically provide yourself any talent. So I think that's a dangerous path for the Lakers. I don't think they should do it. Bron's only going to be here for a couple more years. Don't do that. So keep the pick, in my opinion, and if that's the case, then we'll probably have to create space in other ways so that we can do as I said, take on somebody's bad contract that they're not going to want to keep. Being that we're giving up Russell Westbrook, we're going to have to take back some trash, and know that. Unless we're able to facilitate a deal for like a John Wall or a salary dump of some sort. But even so, it would be something undesirable in theory. So we just got to find a way to make it worthwhile. So I think that's part of it. I think that's a big part of what we're doing. Although conventionally you'll say, oh, they're trying to create space to get a guy like Jeremy Grant or something like that, and I'll say that would be great. But I think the Lakers have more pressing matters to attend to. Because I hate to tell you this, Laker fans, but the removal of Russell Westbrook's contract is actually bigger than basketball in some ways. This is a very bad investment at this point. You knew that going into it, but now that you see it in clear as day how he's going to be playing or what his trajectories could look like, it's just a bad investment. And you recognize that more so now, and you see the urgency to get rid of it. And it's like, I think that's priority number one. It should be. Given our circumstances, we should be trying to create an opportunity to make sure that we're not a part of that. Whatever Westbrook's going to be, whatever his path is, it needs to not be attached to our books, because we have AD and Bron that make it so that we can't get better. See what I'm saying? That's all it's about. So unless you want to choose AD to let go of or Bron to let go of, you're cash strapped to no end because of Russell Westbrook's contract. And I add THT to that list as well if he's not going to play better anytime soon. So these are things that I know from a business perspective, the Lakers organization is most definitely prioritizing. And, that's that. I just kind of know how that goes. So expect them to try to move him. I expect them to fail in those attempts, unfortunately. And then they're probably going to have to reconvene at the end of the season when it knocks a year off or whatever. But I just don't see nobody wanting to pay for that thing. So that, just being real, man, this is not a pretty truth. But we all appreciate Brody, and we know he's struggling. It's not the time to kick a guy when he's down, but this ain't about that. This is about looking at paperwork, looking at numbers, looking at the production, and just saying, yo, this is not a good investment for my franchise. This just not. And we just have to be honest and real about that mistake that we made, and then, like all mistakes, undo it if possible. So, that's how we're going to save our franchise. Otherwise, we're going to be going through a really tough time after Bron leaves. And that's really what I'm looking at. So, yeah, that's my take on things. Obviously, the Lakers have the Sacramento Kings coming up next. Very much excited about how our guys have been playing, particularly our guards like Monk and Austin Reeves and Avery Bradley. Those guys have really been playing well. But at the end of the day, we know that we won that game because a lot of things fell in place that probably won't happen most nights. So it's a roster issue. It's not a effort issue at this point. It's not about guys playing hard or nothing like that. It's about getting everything you need to compete against and match up against these teams that you're going to be playing against. So until we do that, until we give ourselves everything we need, we're always going to be at a disadvantage as a team. So that's just what it is. And I'll leave it at that. My name is BDF44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.